Well, good evening, everybody, and sorry we have just made a late start. We had a couple of little technical problems. I hope you haven't been waiting too long. So here we are. We're back at meditating. It's Monday and it's the 4th of April, 4/4/16. How's that? Pretty neat date. Welcome along, and tonight we're going to be meditating to El Nido, and El Nido is a great track. It's one of the tracks that is on the meditation series, and you can get El Nido at the moment. You can get El Nido for nothing if you go into jeffrey.co.nz. El Nido is El Nido was actually the name of the hospital, maternity home that I was born in many years ago, and and it was quite a beginning for me. But it was quite close to the botanical gardens in Dunedin, and I have very fleeting memories of what it sounded like to be born near nature. I still have these very mystical memories of birds and babbling brooks and things. And also around that same area is where I lived. So a very familiar place, and I wrote that track and put it on the openings album, El Nido. And it's got a very, it starts very mystically, but it kind of comes into a very fresh, morning dewy type feeling, and then continues to be in a very relaxing ambient place. So it's very deep meditation and very smooth. So we're going to be enjoying that tonight. I'm just checking all the technical things as we go. Everything sounds good. At the moment, you're listening to the theme track for meditating, and I've been using Spirit and Nature, the introduction. In fact, the whole track that I use on meditating as a backing, as a general backing behind while I'm talking to you, is a piece of music that lots of different pieces of music that I've put together in a compilation, and it actually equals a 42-minute meditation, and perhaps one day we'll do a 42-minute meditation online, but for the time being, it's a 20-minute meditation. So the posits, I just wanted to briefly talk about the meditation and the effects of meditation. I mean, essentially meditation is an individual thing, but when it comes to being practiced across the population, the collective effect of meditation becomes quite a phenomenon. There was something on TV I saw a couple of nights ago that talked about how when species of creatures, animals get together, they think with one brain. And there's that effect. We have that ability as humans to do that. In fact, we do it. And, you know, there's a lot of people who just do things in life without wondering why they do it. They just do it because everybody else does it. And that's actually a very good example of energy field thinking. It's not always the best idea, of course, but it certainly it stands for safety in numbers. So meditation improves health and well-being at all levels, including physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. These health improvements begin within each and every cell of our body, and they reflect into the energy field of our consciousness. In other words, we experience ourselves feeling much more healthy and vibrant when we're meditating regularly. If we translate each cell into a human being and the human body into the population of humanity, we get exactly the same effect. Our individual consciousness becomes the collective consciousness of all humans and of all humanity as a whole. To most people, human consciousness at a collective level is largely unexperienced, but its effects are pronounced through the boundaries we set up and accept as a human race today. If meditation were to become a popular practice worldwide, the peace generated through each person would continue to a transformation of human boundaries and acceptances. In other words, we'd suddenly wake up one morning thinking, you know, the world, it would be great if the world was a better place and we didn't have this and we didn't have that, or we did have this and we did have that. And so people would feel this inclination to want to make the world a better place through their own example, of course. Each person alive would be affected in a positive way, and the world would feel like it was a much happier place. Within that positive feeling, we would act with more compassion and kindness toward each other, and we would naturally support initiatives that contributed to life being a more fulfilling experience. You know, we would end the existence of poverty, crime, and violence through the creation of peace and an abundant marketplace. A vibrant, inclusive economy that equally benefited all people would grow out of the innate creative contribution that each person naturally brings to the world. So that's the potential of meditating. But the most important thing is to meditate for you and your health and well-being and your peace of mind. And in my book, In the Key of Peace, I talk about this, and in particular, the most important thing I think is really developing that sense of inner peace. And that's the most important thing. And it's natural. Inner peace is within all of us. It's just only through meditation can we really access it. Only by relaxing to that deep level every day do we create our inner peace becoming something quite familiar to us. And then if we live our lives from that point, we seem to have a whole lot more time to do things. And we seem to be quite connected with our innate sense of creativity. And we come up with much better ideas. And so that's the value of meditation at an individual level. So without further ado, I think we'll begin our meditation today. So the first thing is to ensure that you have a comfortable chair. Now you're probably sitting in a computer chair, aren't you? So if you are, just make sure that chair is, that you're feeling really comfortable. Perhaps put a cushion behind you, and make sure that you're not kind of holding yourself on that chair, that you're just sitting there feeling very relaxed. The reason that it's so important to be relaxed in your chair while you're meditating is that if you're relaxed, then you're able to keep still for a longer period of time. And meditation is really about keeping still. If we can keep ourselves still physically, then during the course of your meditation, that stillness will grow into your mind, and you'll create mind stillness, which will be it'll be a bit like having a clear mind, or feel more spacious. But up to that point, it's fine to have your thoughts. Thoughts are okay. When you're meditating, don't try and push things away. Don't try and do anything. Meditation's not about actively doing anything. Meditation's about actively not doing anything, and it's about just relaxing every part of you. So, and that includes the mind. So if thoughts come into your meditation, just let them be there and think about them. One of the things about thinking when you're at a deep level of relaxation is you can think a lot deeper, and if you can think a lot deeper, you can come up with more insightful solutions to anything that you happen to be working on. And those are usually the things that come up in meditation. So having a comfortable chair, being able to keep still are the important things. And of course, tuning into the music is also important. So how do you tune into music? Well, you just sit there and you just breathe gently and just feel the vibration of the music. Feel yourself resonating to the vibration of the music, and it's almost as if you are the music. But don't listen to the music intently. Just allow the music to be there in the space of your meditation. Which brings me to a point about, and I've been asked about this quite a lot, is that how loud do you have the music? Because some people I know meditate with the music quite loud, and I would recommend that you meditate to the music quite softly. So I like to meditate with the music playing very softly, because when you close your eyes, your ears work better, and that makes the music even sound louder. So it's better to have that music turned down quite a lot, and so you can just hear it there. And then as you get into the depth of your meditation, the music will sound a bit louder anyway. So that's it. That's our instructions for meditating today. That's actually the backbone of the Simply Stillness meditation approach. And so that's a very simple and easy approach, and you can use music with it. And I have lots of music available, lots of 20-minute pieces available, so you can adjust. You can get to know that music and get to know how it feels and what it's good for you. And then when you're feeling like a particular piece, feeling like a particular meditation, you can go to a particular piece of music and get that effect. So get that music in your repertoire, and try a different, as we do on the meditator, try a different piece of music each time you meditate and see how you feel about that. Okay, so we're going to begin our meditation. So make sure you're comfortable in your chair, and I want you to gently close your eyes. And I'm just going to start the El Nido meditation track. And I want you to take a deep breath, like a big sigh breath. Breathe in, breathe all that beautiful new energy in. And as you breathe out, just feel yourself breathing out all the stresses and tensions that you might have accumulated during the day. And I want you to take another deep breath. So let's take another one. And again, as you breathe out any tensions you're feeling. Just feel yourself becoming relaxed and sinking into the chair. Remember that stillness is the most important thing. So keeping your body still as possible. Allow yourself to drift away to the music that's being played. El Nido. I'm going to leave you to meditate now. I'll be switching my camera off, and I'll come back on in about 15 or so minutes, and I'll bring you out of your meditation, remembering to keep still. Thoughts are okay, and just allow yourself to move and tune into the vibration of the music. See you soon. easily, I want you to begin to come out of your meditative state. You might like to just be twiddling your fingers a little bit, moving your toes. Take a minute or so to come back to your waking state. Taking a breath of oxygen, it's a slow breath. Well, I hope you enjoyed that El Nido track, and if you're just coming out of your meditation, just do that gently, no hurry. Yes, El Nido is actually from the album Openings, but El Nido is also a remastered track, and I've put a link on the side of the screen. If you go to your right hand side of your screen, at the top you'll see a blue box with a chat box. And if you press that, a menu will come up on the right hand side of your screen. I beg your pardon, the chat box button is on the left of the screen, and what comes up on the right of the screen is a little chat box, and you'll see I've put the link to download that remastered version of El Nido. And if you're not yet on our mailing list, please join that mailing list, and when you do, of course, you get a free guided meditation, Simply Stillness guided meditation. So you'll get 2 free pieces of music if you join the list as well. I'm sure most of you are, but if you're not. So I hope you enjoyed that meditation. I will be back on Wednesday for another meditation. And just before I go, I thought I'd read you something from In the Key of Peace, and this is quite a special, you might say a channeling in some ways, but because I know when I wrote this piece, it's only very short, but when I wrote it, I was feeling quite inspired, and I could sense the words just sort of coming through. So, and it goes like this. I have found that being at peace with myself exists as a constant within my deepest nature. Unlike most other things that are achieved through striving, to be at peace is an undoing of action and a surrendering of effort. When I am at peace, there's no attachment to attainment or achievement. There is nothing more than what is present. Within that infinite twinkling, I am totally content. Being at peace connects me to where peace begins. In what feels like a moment of nihility, I am somehow before I began, and yet I am here now. As I see it, peace is the fundamental of consciousness. Everything I have achieved and everything I have become since is built above that foundation. When I am at peace, I feel like I am below and before everything in my life. I am at the beginning of me, and I am here now in this moment passing, all at once. Maintaining this level of peace is important to me. Short of its grounding, I am suspended without connection. Through losing and regaining its presence, I have realized its essential vibration. When I search for my deepest human desire, peace is always the hand outstretched. To be at peace begins every journey in life. To be at peace is the beginning of everything. So it's quite a nice little passage really, and that's in my book, In the Key of Peace, and that's available off the website www.jeffrey.co.nz. So thank you everybody for joining in tonight. It's been lovely to have you aboard and meditating together. There's something very special about that. So I'll say good night for now, and we'll be seeing you Wednesday night. Thank you and good night.